Jingong mobility, as you saw in the trailer, you saw some of the exciting wind sprinting, you saw the one character running across the rooftops, you saw another character in the background leaping off the wall. Just an amazing mechanism for mobility that we haven't seen in any other game to date, and we're really excited to be able to bring this to a AAA MMO. Again, very reminiscent of Asian fantasy themes where they're running across treetops, and it's just an exciting way to move around the game world. It's not just running from one place to another place on a road or getting on a horse and clip-clopping my way down the path. It's a very cool way of moving around the game world. Not only that, but it provides a vertical element to the game where you can reach greater and higher heights by using your Jingong mobility. And it's just an amazing way to move around the world and see and explore new places. So if you're an explorer, which we know a lot of MMO fans are, this is an awesome system that they will find really enjoyable. So Western launch is very important for us, obviously, and we believe that Blade & Soul is really going to answer a lot of key things that are missed in the MMO space today. Again, Asian fantasy, there are a huge number of fans that love Asian fantasy, and so it's going to really entice core MMO players that are just missing that element. They're tired of playing dwarves and elves and orcs, and they're tired of playing, starship troopers and laser guns, etc. And they want to really enjoy that Asian fantasy culture and lore, and we're bringing that to them with Blade & Soul. It's also going to really entice console fighting game fans because of the skill required in combat. It's not just pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's also going to excite real martial artists because of how relevant the skills in the game are to what they're practicing in their real life. And lastly, it's going to excite fans of anime just because of the visual art style of Hyung-Tae Kim is so unique in this space. So we're very excited about what this game is bringing to the West. And so let's just jump straight into some gameplay. So again, as I had mentioned, we're flash forwarding the tutorial, which shows you a lot of the cutscenes. But the tutorial is a great mechanism to bring, because we believe it's going to bring a lot of new players into the MMO space that have never played an MMO. So they're going to learn how to interact with the world, interact with the UI. Opening an inventory is so basic for MMO players, but for somebody who's never played it, it's foreign. So it brings them through in a very story-based process. So it's not just do this, do that, but it's a very story-driven process. So here you see character creation, and we have 5 characters in the demo. We have 6 characters in the game. We've got the Blade Master. We'll just quickly go through the names. Kung Fu Master. We got who's really the expert of ground and pound melee combat. We've got a Destroyer, big axe, area effect damage. Blade Master, master of the sword, strong offense, strong defense capabilities. The Elementalist, here's a little note. So the Elementalist, in all the documentation you're going to see, it will read as Force Master, and that was the original design of the game, and we're going back to the original design of the game. So you're only going to see it here as Elementalist, but everywhere else you're going to see it Force Master, and moving forward it will always be the Force Master. That's your typical ranged, squishy kind of character class that uses fire and ice and shock and lightning to attack their foes. Character creation is very important to us at NCSoft, and as you know, if you played any of our titles like Ion and City of Heroes, Guild Wars 2, we understand how important character customization and the ability to make my character very unique to me is extremely important. So we've offered the first 2 tabs are really provide numerous amounts of presets for folks who just want to kind of find a look in a very quick way that they like. So not only can you do presets of faces, hairstyles, eyes, the shape of the eyes, the color, but also you can even go beyond this for those who really like to spend a lot of time. And you can see here on the facial details page, look at the sheer number of sliders available. Nose length, nose width, jaw, etc. The slant of the eyes, how wide they are, just a sheer number of sliders that are available. And then you have just as many on just body mechanics, how long the fingers are, how big your foot size is, and you can really customize it to whatever extent you want. So we're very excited about how well this character customization tool was put together, and we know that people will spend hours making the character exactly the way they want. So we're going to jump right into an area called the Emerald Village, and this is an area that's right around level 15, 16 in the game, so still fairly early on. We've learned a lot of combinations. We've got some Jingong mobility skills, but it's the first main village that you get to, and this quest line that we're going to jump right into is basically this village is now under attack by some undead. So before we actually start jumping right into combat, though, we're going to show you some of the Jing Gong and kind of bounce around and show you some of the areas that we're going to be able to achieve and the heights we're going to be able to get. So what he's showing you now is a very great game mechanic that was implemented. This is actually called your Bopai, and rather than having the character armor or the chest piece and your helmet and your gloves all dictate what specs you're going to have a crit skills or 2-hit or change your stats. We felt that was very limiting, because now if I wanted to have a certain type of build and play a certain way, I had to use a certain kind of armor, and that dictated the way I looked as a player character in the world. By removing that dependency from the cosmetic look of costumes, and by making it part of the Bopai, it's basically like an amulet you would wear, and you collect these different pieces by drops or quest rewards. Now I can wear whatever costume I want, and Hyung-Tae Kim again is a master artist, and he's designing countless number of costumes that you can choose to select from to really look the way you want in the world, and it's independent of how I want to play. Because now I can use this Bopai, build the stats the way I want, I can tweak my weapon the way I want by using different gems and socketing different gems. So I can completely play the way I want and have the spec of the character the way I want based on the equipment I have there, not the way I'm forced to look by using a certain set of armor. So it's a really great game dynamic. And here you can see, again, just using different Jing Gong mobilities. This is one of the early Jing Gong mobilities of Glide, being able to look around and unlike other Glide mechanics, there is no energy depletion. There's not a chance where you can glide for so long and then once your energy runs out, you fall to your death. I can literally glide. If I can get to a high enough spot, I can glide as long as I want, as long as my trajectory doesn't hit ground. So it's a great game mechanic. Here you can see Devin's doing some of the really great martial arts combat combinations, and I'm going to actually let him talk through some of the combos.
One of the things with the Kung Fu artist...
you can start that again? Yep.
One of the things with the Kung Fu is the way that she counters, or he counters. So let me dispatch this guy and grab this guy over here. And what I'll do is once I get him to start attacking me, well, let me do the, I'm going to do a flying elbow into him, and that should start him attacking me. And then I'll time it so when he attacks, if I counter it, right now, there, I can grab him and grapple him, throw him to the ground, and pound his face into the ground. So, quickly dispatched him. There's also a lot of AoE effects where you can trip everyone in the area. You can jump up in the air and have big explosive elbow moves that will take everyone down in the area. So not only are you stuck with just single target, you can also do multiple target attacks as well. It's pretty challenging to learn the combo moves, but it's very rewarding once you figure it out. The nice thing that the developers have done is if you can see while I'm doing these actions, different things are lighting up and they're telling me what skills are active or that I should be following up with. And that will help you to learn the combos. I just died. So do you want to talk a little about the resurrection?
So we have learned that Devin's multitasking skills need a little work. What's great about the down state, so what you saw Devin do there was he went and did the typical MMO thing where I respawned at my respawn point, very easy, and in this case it was okay because his respawn point was very close to the battle. But what if you're far away from the battle? That's not great if you got to travel back another 5 minutes to get to where you were. So there are 3 different ways to come out of a down state. So you can respawn, which you just saw, but you can also, if you're in a party, you can request help. So you can ask your party mates to come and help you, and they can revive you just by being there and hitting a single button. The last state, the last mechanism that we've implemented is if you're playing solo, you can actually crawl out of the aggro range, and then you can use meditation to regain your health and life. Just like in true martial arts, meditation is a very important part of the martial arts training. And so we've implemented that in the game as a mechanism to get out of a down state. So you would crawl out of the aggro range, meditate, and then you're right back into the battle. So again, you can see some of the great martial arts skills that are very relevant and feel like they're real life. They feel like you could do an elbow drop, you can do a sweep that kicks people away. So again, martial arts inspired combat, and that's how we want people to feel. And as you progress higher and higher level, the skills become more elaborate and much more, they feel just much more supernatural. So.